Where did it come from? I mean, that's a really good question. I mean, we all know there's a lot of vampire media out there. We talk about it a lot in our show. I mean, we make fun of Twilight, and we talked about Mina Harker and poked at this and poked at that. And Carmilla actually had been done a couple times, but, and sorry to anyone who's connected to those movies, they were kind of schlocky, and they took, like, you know, Lady Vampire and Little Laura, and they just kind of ran with that and disregarded everything else from the book. So Ellen and I definitely thought this would be a fun way to do, not only tell a new story and subvert those tropes, but like use it for 36 episodes to paint a world that's bigger than just a vampire story.
So why did you choose this particular format?
That's the money question. That's actually how it started. It's like, we need to do a 36 episode vlog series. And then we found Carmilla. I think it has to do with, well, for one, when you choose this setting, you can do a lot more episodes, and through our experience at Smoke Bomb, we found the more episodes, the better, the more time you have to kind of build an audience and find all of you guys. It's like, you know, it's really about episode 17 that it blew up, like a bat out of hell, as Dana would say. So imagine if there was only 7, you know, it would be a different type of story. So not only does it do that, but it also allows us to play with transmedia and kind of fill the gaps that we don't see in the room through the social feeds, through the Wattpad things, through the Tumblr feeds. And it lets you guys imagine what else is out there. And that's why I think we've seen so much fan art of like the library and other places, because we don't see it. So it's up to you to imagine, and therefore we can't disappoint you by not showing it.
So since you're the evil mastermind behind the whole thing, like tell me a little bit about pulling the team together and finding Jordan to write it, and Ellen and like all the people that you sort of brought together. How did you cherry pick them?
Well, let's just first, can we give a round of applause to Jordan and Ellen, because they did a fantastic job. I love you. I had actually wanted to work with both of them for a while. Jordan is a playwright that I'd been talking to about developing other shows, and then when Carmilla came up, I kind of thought these two people would be great to work together, like Jordan taking the lead, because her dialogue style is very much in the Whedon, you know, the Jaws first type of material, and I thought she would be great, and I just hoped for the best, and then I put her with Ellen, who has a lot of fandom experience as well, so I thought it would be a nice combination for her to story edit and lead all the transmedia stuff. Then we met you, and that was great, because Spencer was genuinely excited about it, and I loved that. We loved that about him. Like, he just came in and he was like, yeah, this is gonna be so cool, man, I love it. And like, we want that, because we're like that. And we met another director who was like, I don't know, the novel, you know, we have to elevate the novel and like get away from its roots because it's not a great novel. And I'm like, well, that was a bad start. So you're out, you know? And then Spencer came in and just
I kept wondering, like, when are they going to notice that I'm not a woman?
He's very feminist, so it's okay.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Checked.
So Denise, can you tell me a little bit about how you by Kotex kind of, like, had you guys been looking for some kind of a project to attach yourselves to? Did it come out of Shift 2 reaching out to you guys? Or what, tell me about the sort of meet cute between you by Kotex and Shift 2.
Oh, I love that. I have a little bit of a cold, so this is really not my voice, but I think it was Robin, so as our agency partner at Geometry. I always go back to her and say, just find me something good. Like, we just need to attach ourselves to something really great, you know, have an amazing audience. Like, what are we going to do? So poor Robin always has to go and shove out there and try to buy something. And she brought me this idea. Shift 2 had come to her and said, here's the story of Carmilla. And then I went in to meet everybody. And I think it was Jay that was telling me the story about it. And I was literally like on the edge of my seat. Like this, you couldn't even like stop. And I was like, then what? What's next?
That's Jay Bennett, executive producer at Smoke Bomb.
And I'm telling you, he can sell this story. But I absolutely love the story of Carmilla right from the beginning. And I think Robin did too. And we were hooked. As much as you're hooked, that's how we were. And then I went home and I thought of all the limitless possibilities that were going to come to life. And then they started to send me, you know, all the auditions. And I was just like, oh, I get it now. This is going to be amazing. So we were just so happy. And then when we saw it come to life, and we saw the characters come to life and the story come to life, and we got to be a part of that, it was just probably the most amazing thing ever. And now getting to see this is even better.
So Denise and Robin, you guys can sort of like both
my
we'll
voice
call it
knows.
on all play. But tell me a little bit about. So once you guys decided, yes, let's do this. Talk a little bit about like the process from your perspective, like first seeing the script, and then when you saw the casting tapes and stuff like that. But then also tell me a little bit about like what your hopes were in terms of the other material that kind of came around. How you felt like you wanted You by Kotex to sort of be in it, but not in the way of the story, but still connected to the story. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can go first. Essentially, when we look at You by Kotex as a brand, we are a brand that is bold and out there. We're the first ones to come out and say it's not about the blue mystery liquid. There's actual blood that goes on the pad, and let's talk about it. So it was in terms of entertainment factor, it was a natural fit. You by Kotex, in terms of the products, yes, it's always making sure that we're delivering quality products, but it's also making sure that you enjoy us. And we wanted to be a part of enjoying the series. But then also being able to be respectful to the fact that it's a creative process, right? There's a story to be told, and there's a part of that story that a brand doesn't necessarily need to be a part of. But we wanted to be able to work with Steph and Jay and all of the amazing folks that are up here of delivering that storyline and entertaining, and hopefully you can get better connected to who we are as You by Kotex and appreciate that we want to have a conversation with you, and we want to entertain is essentially that. And I think we've done that, and even delivering those UBK specific videos and talking about the slip and grip and all of that good stuff.
So from the audience, quick show of hands, how many of you guys have watched like the other videos that were not the episodes? Oh, so just a few of you, right? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so and we've just had a ton of fun. And it's getting out of our comfort zone too. I mean, you know, we come from a corporate background, and that's how it is. And you stay within your box a little too much sometimes, and it's nice to be able to explore and have fun with what we're doing.
I would say vampires, blood, and then feminine products. To me, it just made sense.
Or didn't make sense.
Why haven't we done this before? And then that was really how the conversation, do vampires get their period? Do they? And then we were just like, do they though? And Steph was like, well, yes, they do.
Where do you find that research, right?
And she's like, yes, they do. And I was like, oh, absolutely. And we had so much fun, like taping those You by Kotex, because we got to be really candid and say the truth. And I think that's what people appreciate. It's still a little bit of a taboo subject sometimes. I still see girls like hiding it like in their purse, and you know, God forbid if it drops on the floor, we have a heart attack. And I think we get to say, you know what, it happens to all women, and that's who we're talking to. We have this amazing cast of really strong and confident and funny women who talk about it so easily.
Amen.
Oh yeah, and we definitely got the guys involved. I'm
We
sure
got
saw
you.
that, so, yeah, we got you.
You haven't
So-
had your chance to talk about it yet, but kind of
How do you
want
feel about the feminine products?
talk about periods.
Great for nosebleeds, guys. We're really good for nosebleeds.
Yeah.
Can I just say, actually, I remember during my very first audition, Spencer came out and gave a little spiel about the series, and then mentioned the sponsorship. And I'm sitting there with like a gaggle of other girls, all auditioning for the same role as me, and I just like started laughing hysterically. I thought it was the best thing ever I've ever heard. I was like, of course, like Kotex is going to be sponsoring a vampire series, and like no one else in the room is laughing or like seemed to understand how awesome this was. So yeah, I thought it was great.
Thank you.
Glad you got it.
So I want to jump back in with the cast here, guys, and what I'm gonna do, we're gonna do like a bit of a speed round. I want you guys each to say